My name is Dalton Hopkins, and today we are going to be finishing something that I feel like by March 9th, Matt Pat still won't be able to finish. That is FNAF, and as we all know, FNAF has been going on for about 9 to 10 years, and yet its lore has still not been solved. So I am here to finally solve it once and for all. Let's get right into the video. So it all began when a man named William and a man named Henry opened up a place called Fredbear's Family Diner, where, as you can guess, it was just basically your regular Chuck E. Cheese pizzeria until that one fateful day where that day was where Michael picked up William's son, uh, the crying child, and then dragged him all the way over to Fredbear, who was in animatronic mode, and then put him in his mouth, but then, unfortunately, the head of the crying child was bit off, and Michael was just left there to watch as his own little brother had died because of him. This then led on to the death of Henry's daughter, Charlie, I'm pretty sure that's her name, by William killing her because he had to take out his anger on Henry for causing, because he wanted to relieve himself, like take out his anger onto Henry's daughter by killing her. Luckily, he brought a knife with him, so that ended her. But then the puppet, finding out that Charlie is not supposed to be outside of outside of Fredbear's Family Diner, outside of the FNAF 2 pizzeria, and if you're confused, after the bite of 83, aka the crying child's death, the restaurant had to be closed down. Oh, and then FNAF 2's pizzeria was opened since FNAF 2 is a prequel to FNAF 1. But then the puppet managed to find Charlie, and and then Charlie possessed the puppet, which then leads to Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which then led on to a bigger killing spree along with FNAF 2 happening at the same time, while William slowly killed off children and stuffed them into the wizards and toys. All the while at the night, the player, the person you play as in FNAF 2, would have to end up dealing with all of that. Eventually, until Henry gathered enough evidence to kick William out of the franchise, because they had camera footage of William leading kids into the back room, which then caused William to be kicked out. But that wouldn't stop William, because at a very late night, he went on to kill even more children and then stuffed them into the toys, which led to FNAF 2's sixth night, where everything's apparently closed because after the death of multiple children, that caused it to close down for good. But William still managed to sneak. But the player is still there for some reason. We don't really know why for now, but I have a feeling it's because the player got curious of what was going on there. Because at the end of the night, and you receive your pay, you notice that on night 5 it says the player name, which is a name I cannot read since I am a terrible reader. But also, on the 6th night after being completed, it says a complete different name, which is just confusing on its own, but that most likely means that there was a different person that snuck into the FNAF pizzeria after it closed, because he got curious and he wanted to figure out why are there so many missing children at this abandoned place. During FNAF 4, we play as Michael, and he has a bunch of reminders to remind himself of what he did to his own little brother. Along with, after becoming an adult, he decided to get a job, and he got the job at the FNAF 1 location. But however, he didn't know where his father was since it had been a while since he last, appeared. So after getting the FNAF 1 job and being hunted down by animatronics, he managed to get back home after being fired, and then that's when he found the secret bunker in his house that led to the FNAF sister location area where he got scooped. While that was happening, William Afton was being haunted by the kids' souls after he decommissioned them and ripped their robotic selves apart, which caused the ghost to haunt them until he got into the suit, which then water dropped and ended up killing him. So, not very smart on William's end. While Michael had the FNAF 1 job, he died, and then was moved to FNAF 3. Which, after being moved over there, Michael got the job because the person that hired him thought he was just wearing a costume for the place, and he had to make sure nothing caught on fire. But at the end of the game, we can find out that Michael set the entire place on fire with him escaping, but with his own father who died. But then it turns out that William Afton survived. Which, after ripping a few parts off of Golden Freddy's now empty suit, he now became Scrap Trap, and then found the FNAF 6 pizzeria, and then was dragged in by Michael, and after being interrogated, eventually made the cut after being zapped a few times. Which, after surviving multiple nights, eventually Henry taps in and causes the whole place to burn down, with Michael, Henry himself, and all the animatronics that were in the FNAF 6 pizzeria, along with Scrap Baby, Molten Freddy, the Puppet, Dash Lefty, all of them to burn in the fire and get killed off with Henry and Michael. Which should have been the end of FNAF, but while everyone else died, William Afton managed to survive and come back as Glitch Trap in Help Wanted. Which the game ends with Vanessa, the person we play as in FNAF Help Wanted, as she's the one that's testing the game, because the FNAF Help Wanted's lore is based on all the weird stuff that happened at Five Nights at Freddy's. But then, Glitch Trap, as an error code, managed to hack into the game and get in there, and causing Vanessa and at the end of the game, causing Vanessa to join his side. Which she turned into Vanny and rebuilt Springtrap, aka William Afton, into Burn Trap. But in FNAF Security Breach, he wasn't fully finished being rebuilt, so he could not immediately control Glamrock Freddy's mind, which ended up leading to, the death of William again. Which then leads us to FNAF Help Wanted 2, which is a prequel to FNAF Ruin, where we play as Cassidy's father, aka the Matbot. We know it's a prequel because, as we see in the Roxanne Wolf fix part, we put this weird mask over her face, which will then appear in Ruin, confirming that this is a prequel to FNAF Ruin. And at the end of the game, we can tell that Cassidy's dad is the Matbot because at the end of the game, we get to see from the Matbot's POV, handing Cassidy the little mask thing. And at the end of the game, we can see that Glitch Trap is, in fact, still here. Then FNAF Ruin takes place, where after being handed the mask, we do the usual FNAF stuff, get hunted down by animatronics that are broken. Turns out Roxy's also the good character and helps us get through this place. While at the end, it's revealed to us at the end of the game that the weird bunny glitch trap looking thing is revealed to be hiding the mimic, which then fights Roxy, and then we get chased by it into an elevator where Gregory himself cuts the elevator, causing us to fall and probably die. And that is it. The full FNAF timeline, theory, and all. And that is the entire FNAF timeline. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. Dalton Hopkins, bye-bye.